In today's garden rescue, Charlie takes on Chris to create a wildlife-friendly garden with a theatrical twist.
This is Nicola and David, and they're in Gosport, so not a million miles from me.
Ta-da!
Hi, I'm Nicola.
And I'm David.
They look like a very colourful couple, and they are into all things theatre and drama.
We've been in lots of Gilbert and Sullivan's, so we love the theatre, we love going to the theatre, we love being in the theatre, and we'd like our garden to reflect that and be theatrical in every imaginable sense. Something where we can go,
Oh, okay. You can see the drama coming through already.
So we did the extension.
We're very, very happy with it. So as you can see, it's a bit of a statement piece. This is our statement chandelier, 8-arm chandelier.
Look at that, that extension's really nice.
Done the house and it looks lovely, and our garden is just shameful by comparison.
Now the garden, goodness me.
Well, this is the garden.
Such as it is.
We've got a 1 metre wide concrete path just here to step onto. It's lawn with lots and lots of weeds. We've got some concrete areas here and a shed.
You can see here, this is dramatic, but not in a good way.
I absolutely hate the amount of concrete that we've got in here, the fact that there are just straight lines everywhere. You've got a path that goes that way, you've got this square over here. It's just naff.
God, there's a lot of work to be done.
The only thing it's been really good for is, well, being carved up when we have parties and things, really.
So what do they actually want?
And we want somewhere that is an extension of our home, really, somewhere we can relax, somewhere we can chill with friends, but somewhere we can, you know, put productions on and do crazy stuff.
We'd like to be able to have a space where we're able to sing and have our friends who are also singers be able to sing with us.
Yeah.
This is going to be fun. When do you get to put a stage into a garden?
They seem quite dramatic, so I'm looking forward to hearing what else they want.
So the shed that we have at the moment is a bit ramshackle and we're looking to replace that. We're looking for a larger cabin type shape somewhere at the end of the garden, which will need to be incorporated into the designs.
That's an interesting one. Luckily they want it at the end of the garden that's a bit messy, so that'll tidy up that space, but it's going to be an interesting one to figure out how we work that into the design.
So we also would love to see more natural elements in the garden as well. We're very passionate about the bees, the butterflies and the birds, so we're really interested in attracting those kind of natural elements into the garden. Possibly even a little pond or a water fountain or something that they could take bird baths in and what have you.
That's really exciting. You can try and draw it all in with the planting. Maybe a wildlife pond in there. I know Charlie's pretty good at those as well, so...
No straight lines.
No straight lines. Oh my days, please take the straight lines. We want nice soft curves.
Curves? I do curves well.
But ultimately somewhere that we can just get out here and sing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what a garden. Goodness me. Now, big garden, but the budget is big as well. £6,000.
Okay, 6,000. That's a good budget, but there's a lot of things on the wish list in this garden, so I'm going to have to put my thinking cap on.
I think this is all going to be about the drama and the theatre.
Yeah, I've got some ideas. Height, drama, okay.
I'm excited about this one. This one could be really good fun.
We're hoping that you turn this from a wasteland into a wonderland.
Inspired by what they've heard, our designers set to work on a plan that makes the most of the £6,000 budget. David and Nicola then choose their favourite, and whichever designer loses helps the winner build the garden. The budget will be spent on materials, whilst Charlie, Chris and their trusty team of landscapers provide the labour for free. Back in Gosport, David and Nicola have been sent the designer's pitches.
Here we go. Nicola, David.
Hello, Charlie.
You wanted a garden with wow, show-stopping, drama, theatrical, darling. The whole works. And you're not mad on too many squares and lines.
Yeah, she's got us down to a T.
Nicola and David, this is your garden, flora, fauna and performers. This garden, it gives you soft curves, it gives you dramatic stages. We've got areas for wildlife with pollinator planting, we've got a water feature, and then we've also got an area to accommodate the log cabin that you're putting in.
modern design, isn't it?
Both designers have clearly paid attention to the brief, but it's the details that count. So, what are their plans near the house?
We've got this modern patio here.
Lovely.
That's curved and edged, and then this organic detail, which are pebbles set into concrete. And then in each of the swirls, there's a climbing post with wire going up it in a swirl like that, so that climbers can go up it. So you're going to have these gorgeous pillars of colour.
Flowers and things, that would be lovely, wouldn't it?
And then this bit here, just for a little extra drama, is this amazing candelabra that stands about this tall. I don't know, David, whether you'll be able to pick it up and walk around the garden with it, because it's quite heavy.
Yes, yes. Oh, she knows me.
With curves and candelabras, Charlie's immediately appealed to the couple's taste. So how's Chris planning to add drama to his design?
Coming out the back doors here of your lovely new extension, I wanted to give you some usable space to really show that off. And what I wanted to do was give you a patio space outside it, a bit of a curve on it, and this will just make that a usable space for you when you come out the house.
It's huge space, isn't it, in front?
You walk along this curved path framed by rich, vibrant planting. There's going to be a few feature trees in there and loads of pollinator plants with loads of colour. I wanted to use things like geraniums, salvias, verbena, heleniums, and a real riot of colour, so it draws everything in.
It's lovely.
The designs both deliver new curved patios with plenty of visual drama. But the next challenge is to incorporate a space for performing.
This are timbers, upright timbers, but they also go like that. So they're going to come down and up and down again. So this acts like a gateway through to the wildlife area, but it also frames this patio come stage to put on productions. Two people sitting here, or you can perform to the more intimate audience here.
That's clever.
As this curve sweeps around, it's going to take you up to one of the best areas of the garden. Now this is the stage. When you want to perform for your friends or with each other, this is where you're going to do it.
Get the whole crew on that.
And the pergola stands up over the top, adding height and drama, creating some shadows, give you a real space to perform.
That's a nice touch.
Both plans feature a stage, but Chris has upped the ante, surrounding his with a pergola. But wildlife is also key for David and Nicola.
This is all meadow grass here, so it's going to be nice and high, so when you walk through it, it will feel very romantic.
Oh, I love the idea of a wildflower meadow down there.
And then we have this circular pond, all for the wildlife, with a solar pump with the water bubbling down.
Oh, the birds will love that.
Coming out of there, that takes you onto the deck. So the deck is going to be joined up to this log cabin that I know you're having put in. Whilst you're sat up there, you can look down to this little pocket of planting there, and in that it's going to be wildflower with a wildlife pond in the middle. It's going to have nice marginals popping up around it, and there's going to be a little fountain, solar powered, in the middle of it, just so you can hear the trickle of water and keep the pond oxygenated.
That's quite magical, isn't it?
Yeah.
Both designs have nailed the couple's love of wildlife and water features. But Charlie and Chris have some extra touches to persuade them.
Now I know this looks like a grand piano, but it's not. It's a high sort of bar table. And then these are what I would call perching pews. So you can watch the production over here while you're eating something lovely, almost like a private jazz club feel.
I love that.
Brilliant.
To mirror the stage for you to perform, I've designed a stage for wildlife. It's a scaled down version of your pergola, and it's going to be sat here, and there's going to be bird feeders hanging off it, somewhere for them to perch on, and in the centre is going to be this feature bird bath.
A stage area for birds.
So hopefully I've hit all the high notes for you.
That's fantastic. She's listened to everything we've said.
So all in all, I think this garden ticks all the boxes. I'd love to see it get built, because when do you get to build a stage for birds? I don't know. Thank you very much, and I hope you go with me.
Oh no, that's lovely. That really is beautiful. Oh, I like them both.
The designers have enthralled David and Nicola. So, do they choose Charlie's flamboyant design with its piano-inspired table? or Chris's more contemporary approach with its elegant pergola-surrounded bird bath.
Is our stage. Should we start with Chris's?
Yeah, good idea.
Okay, so I really love this patio. You could get a sofa, fire pit, table, everything on there. And do some entertaining. I think that'd be really lovely.
I love the wide path as well and the way that it sweeps and forks. That's just really lovely. I like these stage areas as well.
I mean, this is just so cute. Should we look at Charlie's?
Yes, okay, let's have a look.
Again, we've got the nice sweeping curves. We've got this really interesting patio shape going on here. And I love this candelabra.
It's brilliant, yeah. The whole theatrical side, which Charlie has really taken on board. There is less of a space in here where the
That's true.
paving is.
Yeah.
So when you were talking about having furniture out there, you wouldn't be able to get as much. And she snuck in squares.
She did. These are squares. God, this is a really hard decision to make, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm not quite sure. I really don't know. I'd love to have them both.
But only one design can win.
It took us a really long time to decide. I had a little bit of a Barney over it, but we eventually came to an agreement, and we have decided to go with Charlie's! We really love Charlie's design because it felt in keeping with us.
It's a fantastic result for Charlie.
Well, Charlie, you certainly hit the high note on this one.
Well, thank you, kind sir. I'm traditionally trained, don't you know?
Oh, are you now? Yeah, it's a really nice garden. It had all the fun theatrical features and that piano seating area.
Thank you. I have to say, Nicola and David are in love with drama, performing arts and all that side of things. And I think both of us entertained with our pictures.
I think we did,
Yeah.
but let's hope the build team don't have any dramas with this one.
No, because otherwise we think we'll be all exiting stage left.
It's the day of the build, and the team, led by project manager Andy, are raring to go.
I think it's along here somewhere. Oh, look at that lovely, colourful Charlie design this week. Look at that, very, very pretty.
Lovely.
This patio down here by the house, and then we've got paving coming up through the garden. We've got a stage going in here with screens each side of it.
But there's an unexpected surprise. The new summer house Nicola and David have built is in the wrong place.
So the obvious elephant in the room on this plan is that shed isn't there, it's here. So I'll have to have a quick word with Charlie about that, but I'm sure she'll give me a steer.
Hands up who wants to do paving.
Oh yeah, me.
But Col, I feel you doing that cobble sort of spirals down there.
Favourite hobby?
Yeah, I think you'd be great at it. Paul, why don't you help Col?
Sounds good.
And Kyle and Gruff, you working together today?
Yeah, no worries.
Let's go.
Before work can commence on the cobbled area with the coiled planters and the patio next to it, it all needs planning out at ground level.
Get that curve in through there. There she blows. And then the cobbles come out to like a max distance of there.
With everything marked up, the team start prepping the area ready for the pavers and remove the battered garden path. But Andy needs to alert Charlie to the shed's new position.
Hello, how can I help you, sir?
Hi, Charlie. Just that the shed is slightly in a different place to where it is on plans, just on the right side of the garden a little bit.
Okay.
I just wonder whether you mind me making a couple of changes?
Yeah, because that whole end of the garden is quite sort of boho, chilled. So, yeah, just fluid. Keep it fluid.
Great.
No problem.
Brilliant. All right, see you in a bit. Cheers, Charlie. Bye.
With Charlie happy, Andy quickly reconfigures her curved design.
I'm spraying out now for the path that's going to come off the paving. So we're just going to have a nice sort of serpentine path that bellies out here, comes back round, and then meets the doors there. So this is 750 from the house.
With the new path planned out,
And so on.
in the cobbled area, the timber posts for the coil planters are cemented in. More hardcore goes down. But Andy's not finished with the chalk spray just yet.
This is the centre of the circle, centre of the stage. The circle's about 2.8, so just going to put a mark on that.
Up by the house, Colin started work on the decorative floor for the wire-coiled planters that'll add texture and interest.
Now, Paul and I are laying these cobbles here. It's one of those jobs that people love or hate, but I really quite like it because you just get to play and you're rooting around for the right size stone all the time. And when you find it, like that one there, and you know it's going to fit perfectly in, a really nice sense of satisfaction.
Workers started on the new sandstone patio using pavers that cost £1,000. They may have bitten off a sixth of the budget, but they'll bring a sleek look near the house. Further down the garden, a hole is dug for the pond and the ground prepped for new turf.
Right, job done.
Not quite. A stepping stone path has to be built. A plethora of cobbles need placing. And £200 worth of turf is laid. The team are flat out, which is just as well, because Charlie and Chris have arrived.
As you know, Chris, Nicola and David have a passion for the performing arts, and the garden design has got that vibe, but the overwhelming theme is to get wildlife into the garden.
I love it. Yeah, that's perfect. As your understudy, what roles do you want me to play today?
Well, I think we ought to do a duet to start with.
Ooh.
And work on that seating area, the piano seating area at the bottom of the
Nice.
garden. Yeah. I'll be on the pond.
Great.
Yeah.
We better break a leg then.
Well, we'll shake a leg more like. Ooh, look at that. Not a straight line in sight.
I know, loads of colour, loads of drama.
Yes.
I'm going to go look at that piano, all
Oh,
right?
okay. I'm really pleased with this new patio. There was nothing really here before, so quite a modern feel to it. But then we've got this detail here with the cobbles for a contrast. These upright posts are going to have climbers going up them, and then gravel here with some planting through, scented. And then we've got the stepping stones that lead down the garden in a curve, not a straight line. So Nicola will be pleased. And this is the path that had to be rejigged because of the cabin at the bottom of the garden. We weren't quite sure, and Andy's got it spot on, so that's good. Talking of Andy, he's over here marking out the stage, but you're in your element.
Oh, I love it. Loving the stage.
So we're going to have some screens that go across here that are going to act as wings, and then also to divide the garden into two sections. The more formal garden here, we're going to have these posts that divide and sweep down and sweep back up. And then you'll come around to this bit of the garden, which has got a bit more of a festival feel to it. Meadow grass, pond, and then I'm thinking the piano. But here, yeah? Ba-da-da-da.
I don't quite know that one, say it again.
Don't you know that tune? So, and then seats, I think 3 seats, and then one on the other side, so that you can sit here, watch a performance on the stage, or watch the wildlife, having a little bathe in the pool, but you're not looking into the windows of the shed, yeah?
Very nice.
The next step in the construction of the stage is to define it with a border of sandstone cobbles. To create this swirling circle cost around £200. Meanwhile, the Queen of Water Features has dived headlong into her happy place.
Just tidying the pond up and making sure, because it's a wildlife pond, that the edges are nice and dish shaped. Also, I'm going to have meadow turf that's going to come right to the edge here, and then planting as well, just so that things can get in and out. I need to go a bit deeper. You really need to have about a minimum of 18 inches depth for a wildlife pond, so that things that are overwintering are protected from the cold weather.
At the bottom of the garden, it's time to start building the piano-shaped table that'll act as a focal point and seating area.
So Gruff has kindly prepped some of the timber for this already, and he's going to give me a kind of crash course, idiot's guide to building a grand piano. So,
The method to my madness. Basically, these are going to join the boards together,
yeah,
and then we can attach the legs into the boards.
okay.
So we can, so it's not, we haven't got any fixings coming through from the top. Should be
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah,
Nice
yeah.
Smooth finish. Maybe an extension on the back of one of these
Yeah.
to tie the end one in.
That's all right, I'll do that and then cut it all out and Charlie can play us a tune.
Yeah.
Don't hold your breath. My limit is chopsticks.
Now I've just started the cut for the grand piano, so you can see the curves here that are going to be sweeping around. So this is perfect for cutting those out. And I've already got all the braces on, so they're crossing all the boards, keeping it nice and secure. And I've just put 2 screws for each one, all the way down. Once I've cut the whole curve out, then time for the 3 legs to go in, and I have to dig some holes and get it in the ground here.
I know you're very busy, Mr. Piano Man.
Yes.
But as my duo partner,
Ah,
would you like to get hold of the other end of the fleece?
of course I can.
Now I'm hoping it's going to be wide enough when it's cut to open out and fill.
Perfect, look at that.
Look at that, made for the job. Fantastic.
On top of the fleece goes a liner,
Loads of liner.
then another layer of fleece for extra protection.
So I'm just using garden soil, making sure there's no huge sharp stones. And I'm putting a very thin layer over the fleece. You don't want to put too much in because ponds naturally silt up, but we'll get a much more natural effect doing this, which is what I wanted at this end of the garden. The reason I put the hose in the bucket is so that the water fills up and it slowly overflows.
And as the rustic pool is left to fill, Charlie surrounds it with meadow turf that dips below the waterline, providing the wildlife with easy access in and out.
So I will warn everyone now, this edge of the pond, if you stand on the edge of it, you will end up in it.
By the house, Andy's focusing on finishing the elegant sandstone patio.
Okay, that's the last touches made to that curve. Just trying to get a really beautiful sort of sweeping dynamic curve in there. We're all done now. Anyway, gonna cut him.
But seeking perfection does come at a cost.
Excellent, well that's the edging done. Where is everyone?
The pond is now full and ready to be planted with a mix of wildlife attracting species.
I'm making sure that I'm using natives for the marginals. So I've got Carex pendula here and one of my favourite plant names. This trailing plant here is known as brooklime, or proper name is Veronica Beccabunga. What a fantastic name, Chris. Isn't that great?
Yeah, it's a good one. Always good to say that.
Yeah, and it's great because it sort of creates a mat across the surface. Now, with lots of natives, they are quite vigorous. On a small pond like this, I would avoid things like reed mace and yellow iris because they will just really take off and swamp the pond. All the legs are going on then.
Well, yeah, you happy with this height, as tall as me?
Blimey. I presume you're making sure it's very well anchored.
Exactly, yeah.
Because it's quite heavy, isn't it?
Yeah, well, not for me, but you know.
As Chris attaches the legs, the pond is finished with pebbles that will serve 2 purposes, providing somewhere for wildlife to hide and to disguise the pipework for a trickle of water provided by a solar-powered pump. And as Paul creates fencing by the house, the stage is prepped for its upright screening.
Spot on.
But the huge piano table is ready to be installed.
Right, I need some help, everybody. Get your muscles out.
I look way too short. I mean, I'm looking up to the bottom of the post already.
Yeah.
All right.
Right. Okay, steady on. Right, so we put it on its side and then go again.
Oh my!
All right. Yeah, that's good.
That's a good height,
I'll
isn't
tell
it?
you what, should we just make it a cute shed?
Yeah.
That's good.
Is it in the right position though, in the circle?
Who knows?
Look at the ground.
Ladder.
I think like that. Do you think like that?
Charlie, if you think like that, then we all think like that.
I do think that's got to come around that way a bit, Kyle. Your leg
Car's end. This way.
comes to, yeah.
I think the bigger problem is that it's a bit high, Charlie.
How high are these stalls going to be?
Well, they got to have a feet off the ground, haven't you? Oh, shut up!
Oh, Mum, can I have my dinner? Thanks.
The table is designed to be a permanent feature, so holes have to be dug over a foot deep to anchor it.
Okay.
Just wunderbar.
Oh, not bad, is
Yeah,
it?
it's
Perfect,
perfect,
that. You happy, Charlie?
Very happy. Loving it.
But the piano table isn't quite finished. David and Nicola love Charlie's use of an outdoor candelabra, so there's another one to add a touch of Liberace to Chris's creation.
Here we go. So I'm thinking, so rather than putting it in the post in the middle, maybe we can notch the post in here,
Yeah, that would be nice.
and then that's sort of up at that sort of height, do you think?
Yeah, I think that look perfect. Yeah.
I have noticed they have got quite a fancy candelabra in their
Oh, you
kitchen
can see it from
lounge,
here.
yeah.
Ooh.
So it sort of picks up the swirly shape.
Very well planned.
Well, that's not going anywhere fast, is it? Do you think it's tall enough for the candelabra?
I can't get up there.
Blimey. So I've
He's
broken
got
one of my
tools.
candles. Oh, no.
4 candles.
Yeah, 4 candles. The reason I'm putting the candles on now is we don't want it so high up that you can't reach the candles to light them. Hold on, not right up there. Down, yeah.
Down.
There.
There.
Chris, what does it look like?
So, I think you might not like the answer. It needs to go up a little bit.
Little bit.
You want it above your headline, don't you?
Yeah, no higher than that though.
That's perfect.
That's it. I don't know what to do now. I feel a tune coming on. Oh, the sun's in my eyes now. Liking it. Yeah.
With the candelabra complete, Charlie can focus on another dramatic feature in her design, the swirl of climbers near the patio. To create the effect, they'll be suspended on wire that cost around £80.
Right, these posts are going to have climbers going up them, but I want some metal framework, but I don't want it to be like uniform trellis. So I'm hoping that Nicola was true to her word by saying she doesn't like straight lines because we're going to go mad. So should we put this in the top first, do you think? Or do we go
top?
bottom? No, okay then. No, we'll put it in the bottom first. Right. Okay, that one can just go in, I think.
Yeah, so back there.
That's it, yeah. So it gives some support to the climbers, but in a sort of quite an organic way. Let go, see, I quite like that. And I feel that we need to dive downwards with this one, but billowing out.
Let go of it, see what it does.
Oh, probably ping up.
No, that's all right.
What? Where are you going?
I don't know. Where are you going? You going up or down?
I was thinking going down.
In the ground?
Yeah, what do you think?
It's all right, to be fair.
I love it when you say things like, it's all right to be fair, Charlie.
Genuinely think it's pretty cool.
Quite fun. Oh, that one looks like that one goes in and comes out the other side.
Right.
With the wire in place, Charlie can start adding the greenery. She spent £950 on plants for this garden.
I'm really pleased with the way this has worked out. Got the clematis sort of climbing up and round. So I've gone for different climbers, but they're all self-climbing. So the clematis, it's actually the leaf stem that curls round the wire. But then you've got something like this morning glory, which climbs by twining, the whole stem goes round it. And then I've got this bluebell vine, absolutely beautiful. It's got these gorgeous azure blue hanging flowers, very delicate and dainty. And it will climb up. Won't get huge, quite slow growing, but I just love the sort of clear blue flowers of it. I'm going to pop that in here. I have put a jasmine on that fence there, which will grow up and help screen the alleyway and also give the scent into the house. Okay.
A little one in.
A little one there.
Maybe,
Yeah,
in the bottom,
that's
yeah.
it. Yeah.
On the stage in the centre of the garden, the screen-cum-theatrical wing is now built. Charlie's design incorporates shelving for David and Nicola to display plants and props. And the floor is covered in plenty of self-bind gravel. At the bottom of the garden, the piano table is ready for a floral flourish.
Clematis growing up the post just finishes it off, really. But actually, this would be a really nice bit of the garden to come and sit in. Get the shade from the neighbours' conifers. Look back at the stage area. So they could have an intimate jazz club area down here, watching a performance on the stage. That's what I like to think, anyhow. How goes it, Andy?
All right, I think.
All right, yeah?
Just having a little go on these stools.
Loving these, Andy, I have to say. Look at that. Tractor seats. Thought that'd be a bit of fun for the sort of bar stools.
Yeah, I mean, they're super cute, aren't they? Really cool.
Are they silly money?
35 quid, something like that.
Okay,
Yeah, yeah.
but I mean, fun.
Yeah.
Definitely fun for the jazz club.
The quirky seats are securely attached to timber posts set in the ground.
Guys.
Meanwhile, Chris is cracking on with the planting in the bed near the patio.
I'm just about to plant these agapanthus. Now, they're slightly different to the ones you see everywhere, so these have got a little bit of drama. Charlie's bed's full of these kind of exotic plants with big leaves. So to contrast with that, we've got these really tall flower heads and they've got this fantastic change in colour. Now, you don't see that very often. And as long as it's not a real sort of crazy cold winter, they should be absolutely fine. Whew. Now, agapanthus usually have a very dense root system, and you can see it there. Really nice and healthy. Roots all wrapping around the pot, so they'll be very happy to get in the soil. Now, agapanthus do love free draining soil and plenty of sunlight, but they will tolerate some partial shade as well. So these will be really happy here. Now, a few more to go in.
Charlie's design also features a line of timber posts that curve across the space, dividing it in two. And as they're bedded in, she needs to plant the garden's theatrical feature tree.
I love this tree. Indian bean tree, Catalpa bignoides. Great tree for drama because you can pollard it back and you get these really big, huge leaves, or you can let it develop into a tree and it makes quite an open, broad tree, medium size, so it's not huge. Get some fabulous flowers on it, like white bell-shaped flowers that are spikes, lots of little flowers, spikes 20 to 30 centimetres high. And then afterwards you get these beans that grow that are about a foot long and they hang on the tree even into the winter time. So you'll see them hanging in clusters on the tree. So really good fun. And then I've got another one next to it, which I think they should keep that one pollarded hard so that you get the really big jungle leaves that will complement the agapanthus and the fatsia.
To really encourage nature into the garden, the bottom area by the piano table is planted with more wildflower meadow turf. Once established, it'll offer a safe haven for creepy crawlies and insects. And the stage is set for the final act.
Gruff, I'm getting very excited about this. This is the curtains.
This is the curtains.
The curtains.
I mean, so far so good.
I gave the guys a bit of a challenge. I wanted a screen on this side, but I wanted it movable. So I'm using butcher's curtains, which are those things, you know, when you go to a butcher's in the summertime and they've got the door open, they've got these sort of aluminium chains that hang down and it stops the flies going into the shop. And actually they're really good if you're making a sensory garden for children because they make a great noise as well and children like sort of going through them. So Gruff will be in his element.
I love it. Sounds right up my alley.
The butcher's curtain cost £135.
Oh.
That's absolutely perfect! A round of applause for that man! What a performance!
Great show, sir, great show.
Fantastic!
With that, Cotswold Gravel finishes the cobbled area by the house. The last plants find their home, and the garden is complete.
Oh,
Almost.
I did suggest that David might be serenading Nicola around the garden with the candelabra, but it is quite heavy, but it is movable. I can have it here, have it on the stage, have it down at the jazz piano vibe of a seating area, which I'm looking forward to see how it's turned out now that it's finished. Well, Mr. Piano Man, look at you!
I know.
I'm loving this. It's just the right height. I can see Nicola and David. Someone sat there, someone leant here, chatting away. What tune are you going to play me then?
Well, I don't know actually, but I've got a few up my sleeve. But it's just it's so romantic, isn't it? As well, you've got the clematis up here and the chandelier.
And I hate to say it, but I am really loving the slightly mad out there climbing frame for the plants.
I know. It's like an abstract treble clef, isn't it?
It is.
My favourite part of the garden, this area here, the kind of wildlife area, a little bit understated, a little bit natural, but it all kind of adds to this sort of feeling in here.
Well, we better let them see it.
Yeah, the show must go on.
When the team arrived, this empty, bland garden consisted of nothing but weedy turf and lots of concrete. But after working with a £6,000 budget, it's been transformed into a dramatic space Gilbert and Sullivan would be proud of. There's a new curved patio bordered by quirky wire planters with plenty of climbers to grow all around. Lush planting beds edge the formal lawn, and a stepping stone path leads down to the bottom of the garden. In the centre, the stage is set for star performances. Timber uprights sweep across the central space, hiding the rustic wildlife garden beyond. Finally, there's the impressive piano table for friends to congregate. But will it get a standing ovation from David and Nicola?
Here they come, look.
Nicola, David, you wanted a garden that was going to be show-stopping, full of colour and drama. I'm hoping we've given you that. Do you want to open your eyes?
Oh my God! Oh my God! That's amazing!
Completely different, isn't it?
Oh my gosh, and it all links in together. Oh my God, I can't believe this, Charlie.
I haven't got any words. I mean, characteristically.
Have you seen that? This is astounding. This isn't our garden.
The difference from this kind of big open plan space to all these little journeys throughout, such a change. Charlie's done such a good job on this one.
You've got this lovely new patio that flows straight out of your kitchen area, big enough for a table and sit out in.
Oh, it just looks beautiful, and it's so natural. It blends all in together. It's just gorgeous.
The candelabra for you, David. It moves. As I said, it is quite heavy.
God, I wouldn't.
So you can move it around the garden wherever it takes your whim. And rather than going like a pergola and straight lines, we've gone a little abstract, as you can see.
Love it.
Thought you might like that.
Very much so.
And then on this side of the garden, we've got lots of bold foliage plants interspersed with sort of hot colours and agapanthus. The Indian bean tree there will sort of fill the space. But I know you wanted colour in the garden, so wander down your footpath. We've got this detail with the swirls, no straight lines.
This is brilliant. Gosh.
This is going to grow up beautifully, isn't it? All along.
Yes.
Now, I really loved what Charlie's done with the climbers and the clematis there. Just adds a touch of movement as soon as you come out of the house to draw you outside.
So the path leads down to your lovely new cabin at the bottom with these uprights that divide the two areas of the garden. We've got the formal garden here and the wildlife area here. So come this way to your stage. You've got the wings and the wings, but come on through. So, the fun thing about this is these slide, so you can have them as a backdrop, almost like curtains. Yes? So, do you think you'd do a performance here?
Absolutely.
Go on. Wowee!
Best thing about this stage is that it's perfectly placed in the garden, so whether you're in the house and you've got the bifolds open, or if you're at the other end with the piano, wherever you are, it's centre stage.
Then we have the wildlife pond. So we've got meadow grass. This is all meadow grass that's going to come up high, but we've enhanced it with some ornamentals that will self-seed. So the logs are there so that things can get in and out really easily. It's planted up, so it'll take a year or so to balance up. But having a pond makes a huge difference for the wildlife. So go check out the piano table. Chris has been busy on that. So again, we've got meadow turf all the way round. You like the stools?
Oh, we love these. These are all tractor seats.
They are!
Fantastic.
Brilliant. I love those tractor seats too. They're just so cool. It's really quirky, and I think it just really suits them as a couple.
This looks amazing.
Chris has been really busy on this. It wasn't a simple task I set him, but he's done fantastically well. And of course, being scaffold boards, it'll last forever. It's really strong.
Yeah.
You might be able to do a performance on this.
Tap dancing on that later.
So can you see yourself using the garden?
Gosh,
Absolutely.
yes. I don't think I ever want to get back in the house. I'm going to be out here all the time. It's great.
And not many straight lines at all.
No, thank you so much for listening to that. We were adamant about not having straight lines. So yeah, perfect.
It's really beautiful.
And Charlie's just done such a good job on this design. Completely unique. Absolutely love it.
Oh, I know, brilliant, aren't they? They come back with
It's definitely captured our personality.
We love all the colours, all the curves that have been put in. It doesn't even look like the same garden anymore. It is just breathtaking.